at the script like, what part is this? What the hell is he? Is that in this script? Was there a rewrite? He had totally internalized. Anybody, I'd love to see you, but there are no tickets. There are no tickets to see the Hamilton mixtape, but come give me a hug, you know? Because I had been up there, I had made friends with the ushers. From its opening phrases, how does a bastard orphan son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished in squalor, grow up to be heroes? Give me a break!
Hey everyone, we're back with another Q&A. It's the 10-year anniversary of Hamilton, and Lin-Manuel Miranda is presenting screenings at the famous United Palace Theater in Washington Heights. They're screening the film One Night in Miami, where Leslie Odom Jr. was nominated for an Oscar for his portrayal of Sam Cooke. They'll talk about the film, what it was like to portray a legend alongside other famous figures like Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, and of course, they'll talk behind the scenes of Hamilton.
What it was is what falling in love feels like. I felt like that 13-year-old kid again. I didn't know I had been waiting so long.
And he will also sing a few songs, including this Hamilton classic.
Keeping the bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side.
And even this one from Sam Cooke.
I was born by the river.
Sit back and enjoy. If you're a Hamilton fan, I think you're going to like this one. Please give me a like if you do. It really helps the channel. Cheers.
We've got Lin-Manuel Miranda waiting here in the wings, here with Leslie Odom Jr. Talk about some cool stuff and then maybe do something that's a surprise.
And now the fun part starts. My next guest, my only guest, is a Tony winner for a small independent show called Hamilton American Musical. And you're going to see him be absolutely amazing in his Oscar-nominated turn as Sam Cooke tonight in One Night in Miami. Please give it up for my friend Leslie Odom Jr. Hi, buddy. I want to start. It's tricky to talk. I love you first. So, it's tough to talk about a movie before you've watched it. But I want to start with. This movie is based on a wonderful play by Ken Powers, who wrote the screenplay for this. Had you seen the play? How did you get involved? How did you get to be part of the incredible foursome that anchors this movie?
Yeah, I had never seen the play. I had been offered the play like twice. They haven't done a bunch of productions, but I would get offered this play, including once in Harlem, because Ty's company did it.
Ty Jones of Classical Theater.
Yeah. So
give it up for Ty Jones, Classical Theater.
Yeah. So I was never able to make the play work, and then the film came along, and of course I heard about the film, and I'm not just saying it. I thought I could think of like 4 or 5 guys that are more well-suited to play Sam Cooke than I. So like I was not looking to be in the film at all. And I also thought that it was a tall order, because we've had 2 towering performances already with, the film it's about 4 guys essentially, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, Malcolm X, and Cassius Clay before he's Muhammad Ali. So, I'm like, oh right, you're gonna get 2 guys that are gonna play Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X better than Denzel and Will Smith? I don't think so. So, so I thought we could end up in laughingstock territory. So anyway,
TV movie land.
Right.
I hear you.
So I was not interested, but we kept getting calls about it. Regina wouldn't let it go, thank goodness. And I asked her one day, why she thought I would make a good Sam Cooke. She was so warm in our meeting, and she essentially offered it to me in the room. I was just blown away by it. Anyway, but what Regina said, it wasn't Hamilton. It was not Smash. It was that and these other things. She said, you know what made me think you could do this part? It was the Nationwide commercial.
It was on your side.
She said there was something Sam Cooke about what I saw in the Nationwide commercial.
That's amazing. I want to talk a bit about the Sam Cooke of it all, because Sam Cooke is one of our great singers. I mean, like one of the great vocal stylists we've ever
Give it up
had.
to Sam Cooke, give it up, Sam Cooke.
There was a moment in Hamilton that I grabbed that Sam Cooke, and say no to this. Mariah Reynolds, when she goes, whoa, whoa, that is a Sam Cooke riff. Like we all owe a debt to Sam Cooke, anyone who has ever sung or written R&B. So how intimidating is that? And what did you do to prep?
God, it's the most intimidating. I remember when I was working, because the first thing we did was record the music. So
The first thing you did?
that's the first thing we did before anything else. So yeah, we got in the studio and had to do these recordings, and I respectfully, you know, I wouldn't allow anybody else to be in the room. Like I wouldn't let Regina be. I was like, we're gonna send you stuff. Like I gotta find this. I don't know where I'm gonna find it from. I don't know what, but I need to I just need the privacy of this process to find Sam Cooke, and I'm grateful for it because that's the best way into Sam, right? It's like finding his voice, you know, coming as close to it as possible. Because I believe that, you know, a singer's voice it's a fingerprint. You know, a singer is telling you so much about where they've come from and who their heroes are and what is important to them. You know, not everybody has a, you know, I think it was Chris Jackson in Hamilton, you know, Chris would call me Silky.
Silky,
Yeah,
that was
right.
the nickname in the cast. Silky's here.
But you know, that's based off the things that are important to me. I mean, Sam, the velocity of his voice, the tone, how harsh, how not harsh, the salt on it, all that stuff is, you know, there are clues into his personality. So it was intimidating, of course, and I'm glad that I kind of had the private process of finding his voice first, or, you know, I came as close as I could.
Yeah. And talk a bit about working in that hot motel room with those 3 other fine actors. I mean, that's a hell of a room, and that's, you know, 3 weeks, right? Like 3 weeks, like fighting with Malcolm X.
Yeah, I owe a huge debt to Kingsley Ben-Adir, and you guys will see him as Malcolm X. He really, him and Regina, I think, really set the pace for us. Regina King, that's why I give it up for the great Regina King. Give it up, give it up.
Brilliant directorial work in this movie.
But Kingsley, I think each one of us, as you can imagine, you know, there's really 4 guys in this film, and I've learned a lot, you know, about when you're working with talented people, you know, brilliant people. And I think each one of us expected to come in and kind of lead the way. You know what I mean? Like each one of us came in like, really, it's gonna be me and Regina, and you know, we're gonna bring these other guys along and really just make sure that that this all goes the way it's supposed to go. And that's a good thing because that means everybody shows up prepared and ready to
And
lead.
I mean, this was a play. This is a lot of dialogue. This is not a movie where there's a 20-minute close-up, but like y'all are talking big ideas, really heavy themes, and like it's a lot, and it's a truncated amount of time too.
And Kingsley was the last one cast. Kingsley was cast, I mean, I want to say, because we lost an actor. There was another actor cast as Malcolm X, and we cast Kingsley, I think 2 weeks, something crazy before we started. And when I tell you Kingsley Ben-Adir came into this room, and the first rehearsal was like, you know, I mean, I'm used to, we come from the theater, I'm used to rehearsal, you know? And on a films you don't get as much, but we gotta learn the words, we gotta figure out where we're stepping into the space and all this stuff. And the first rehearsal, Kingsley came in, and I'm sitting down, I think, and Kingsley is off book completely and going.
How dare you? How dare you?
Going at me. I'm looking at the script like, what part is this? What the hell is he? Is that in this script? Was there a rewrite? He had totally internalized this. He came ready to lead. It's Kingsley's night, is what I'm gonna say. It is the one night in Miami, we show up thinking that it is Cassius's night, it is Malcolm's night. Malcolm has decided that he is gonna use this night to get what he needs out of us, and so Kingsley was the jolt. He was the electricity, and I've worked with great scene partners before, so I know the wonderful gift that it is to have somebody that pushes you, that challenges you. So what you can do is respond honestly. Instead of acting or crafting a performance, all you're gonna see is really me responding to what Kingsley is giving.
Oh, that's beautiful. Workshop, and then maybe you couldn't do that one first? Is that what happened? You weren't free, and then you got to see us up at Vassar. And it was our first time really reading it to anyone out in the world, and we had Act 1, and I think we had like 3 songs in Act 2. We had the cabinet battles and Baby Say No to This, and I think that was about it. And you were there because your amazingly talented wife, Nicolette, was doing a superhero musical across the street. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that day.
Oh my gosh. So I come up to Vassar, and if you remember nothing else from tonight, who here is under the age of 21? Under the age of 21? Let me hear you. Yes. So I love you. So I had sent Lynn a tweet, as you do,
Back when Twitter was not a hellfire. That's right.
I had sent Lynn a tweet, and I was like, hey, I'm in Poughkeepsie, if you can believe it, and I know you guys are doing this thing called the Hamilton mixtape, and I'd love to see it. And he sent me a tweet back, and he was like, hey buddy, I'd love to see you, but there are no tickets. There are no tickets to see the Hamilton mixtape, but come give me a hug, And so what you want to remember is, because I had been up there, I had made friends with the ushers. So
Make friends with the ushers.
Make friends with the ushers
tonight.
So my favorite usher was like, Leslie, I got you. And I scored the very last folding chair in the very last row to see the first reading of the Hamilton mixtape. And, my favorite quote there's another friend of ours that's here today, Jeffrey Seller is here somewhere, who produced...
Producer of Hamilton. And In the Heights and many other things for which I'm grateful.
And the show that I met Jeffrey on, a show that you know Jeffrey from too, is a show called Rent. I was 13 years old when Rent came out, and it changed my life, right? It really changed my life. And my favorite quote about art and artists is that an artist spends their entire life trying to get back to the place where their heart was first opened up. And I sat on that last row in that black box theater, and that was what it was. It's what falling in love feels like. I felt like that 13-year-old kid again. I didn't know I had been waiting so long, but it was just so fresh and bold and literate, and from its opening phrases, how does a bastard orphan son of a whore and a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by Providence, impoverished in squalor, grow up to be heroes? Give me a break!
It's becoming rehearsal very quickly.
You know what I mean? This is gonna be a musical for people that read books? Like, sign me up! So, honestly, you guys know what it's like when you first saw Hamilton. You can't even believe, every song is better than the last song. And you can't believe they're gonna keep it up. But Lynn, we were talking about the story earlier. there's a song early in the show called The Story of Tonight. Which track is that? Which song is that?
Track 3 or 4, you know better than me.
Four. It's a test for them. They know it better than you do, believe me.
They really do.
Yeah, no, you don't want to come for them. So, but that song, that early in the show, like I'm already, we've already had a couple of bangers already, but that song, as a fan of the theater, sitting on that last row, just as somebody who enjoys plays, I had never seen 4 men of color on a stage singing about friendship and brotherhood in my life.
We dropped the mixtape by then, but Janine Tesori was running this off-Broadway encores, which was sort of giving shows that were off-Broadway that hadn't really been widely seen, a wider audience. And when she got named artistic director, I texted her and said, if you ever do Tick Tick Boom, please consider me. And so about 6 months before Hamilton premiered, you got to play my best friend, and K.O., who played Vanessa de Mayusnabin in The Heights, played Susan, and you played Michael. And I think that for me was like the foundation of everything we got to do later, because we got to be like childhood best friends for like 2 weeks. And it was so wonderful to get to play with you in that like positive space before getting killed in a duel nightly.
I loved it. I loved working with, it was so nice to play with you and Karen in that space too. I remember, I loved her process. She was so generous. She's such a giving actor. It's the little things, y'all. Any actors out there? Any performers? I remember, because it's a very fast process, and so I remember we did this thing in school called viewpointing, when I was at Carnegie, and I remember Karen was like the first actor that I was working with that I became aware that she was doing it. All it was like, because Camille
Brown was our choreographer, yeah.
Right. And Camille could choreograph every single moment, right? Karen was so aware of you and me in the space. There would be times when Karen would, she would, mirror
Just
me.
find the other spot.
Yeah, right. She would mirror me. She was just so aware of me physically. She taught me so much in that quick process. I thought we were able to, once again, and these spaces come whenever this guy is involved, because my favorite thing about working with you and your brand of genius is that you are not afraid to, you empower other people to be just as big and just as brilliant as you. There are some people that can only be tall if you walk on your knees. And Lin is not one of those people. He is he's full-bodied and having a wonderful time, and he wants, he is desperately is checking in to make sure that you're having the same experience that he is. And so, that was a wonderful.
Well, I feel like I come from high school theater where you cannot hire, fire, or pay anyone. And so the only reason to make sure Dane from the basketball team comes to rehearsal 3 times a week is make sure that your shit is the most fun shit happening in school. And so it's about making the most joyous process, because everyone who is doing the school play is not getting course credit and they're not getting a grade. It's just to do it for the love of it. So you're trying to make the most fun place possible. And I feel like I try to stay connected to that. I'm always just trying to make the best school play. I was when Hamilton, sometime from now, gets to be a school play, you can not double cast the parts and have 50 people in the show. It's gonna be a great school play one day. But that's sort of the ethos, is okay, I'm competing with the basketball team, I'm competing with speech and debate, and to get my cast to be in my show. That's always sort of the space I try to work from. I'd love for you to sing a little Sam Cooke for us tonight, if that's possible. So can we please bring out the great Nick Castorino, who's going to accompany Leslie.
Somebody's always telling me don't you hang around. It's been a long that a change gon' come. Oh yes it will.
Song. Think of it as rehearsal for the fall. And if you know the echoes, you can sing along, please.
No, you know what? Actually, I want to say this. I remember sitting on that back row at Vassar, and I remember like it was yesterday. The thought that crossed my mind when this song finished, I thought to myself, well, whoever gets to sing that song 8 shows a week is gonna be a very lucky actor, and I was right. Theodosia writes me a letter every day, keeping the bed warm while her husband is away. He's on the British side of Georgia, he's trying to keep the colonies in line, but he can keep all of Georgia. Theodosia, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes it. Keep loving anyway, laugh and cry. There's a reason I'm by her side. So many have tried, and I'm willing to wait for her. I'm willing to wait for her. Grandfather was a fire and brimstone preacher. Never things that the homilies and hymns won't teach her. My mother was a genius. Father commanded respect. When they died, they left no instructions, just a legacy to protect. Death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. We keep living anyway, rise and fall, break and make. If there's a reason I'm still alive, and everyone who loves me has died, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Gonna wait for it.
Control. I'm inevitable. he keeps winning anyway. He changes the game, plays and he raises the stakes. And if there's a reason he seems to thrive, and so few survive, then goddamn it, I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Life doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. We keep living anyway. We rise and we fall. And if there's a reason I'm still alive, and so many have died, I'm willing to wait for it. Gonna wait for it.
If you enjoyed this one, be sure to check out this conversation with Hamilton and In the Heights Christopher Jackson and Lin-Manuel Miranda. See you next time.